It's a pretty satisfying thing when a book that you've really liked gets turned into a film and the film does a really good job.
Ooh, that's a hot mug, guy.
Hey guys, this is my review for The Long Walk. Pretty much my favorite Stephen King novel. I think it's a testament to writing and his style of writing and his quality of writing when you have a concept as simple as there's 100 kids in a walk. They keep walking until there is only one left. How do you make that nearly 400 pages and entertaining? He did. And I sincerely feel that the film is a loyal and well-updated version of the book. The film follows Ray Garrity, young kid who joins in The Long Walk, this event that happens every year in this dystopian alternate history of America. It has been ravaged by civil war. This event is something that happens every year. 100 in the book, 50 in the movie. Kids who take part in this walk, and all they have to do is walk at 3 miles an hour consistently until there is only one person left. And at the end, they get their prize, a wish and a big prize pool of money. But that's not really the point of the movie. It's not really the point of the story whatsoever. First off, I want to say that the acting in this movie is phenomenal. I didn't realize that the kid who plays Ray Garrity is Philip Seymour Hoffman's son. Like, phenomenal job, bro. I didn't see you in Licorice Pizza, but I can definitely say now that I am interested in following you with a very interested eye. Speaking of which, David Johnson, who plays Peter McVries, Andy from Alien Romulus, also very interested in you, sir. Definitely a great update to the character from the book. Just phenomenally well done. In part, everyone gets a decent update into the book, whereas the book, everyone's kind of there for no other reason than to just do the race, and they sort of discover themselves in this, and there is some forms of camaraderie, but not so much. The movie does a lot more of a condensing job and much more of a direction job. Garrity has a very definitive reason for why he's in this walk. The camaraderie between the Musketeers and the rest of the boys, as well as the confliction between them, is much more defined and much more focused, and it leads to moments being so much more impactful. Every time someone gets a ticket, it never gets any easier, and it gets harder and harder and harder. And there are some moments that seriously have not left my mind. Look up Olsen. Look up the score for Olsen and tell me it doesn't get some kind of emotion out of you. The score done by Jeremiah Frieder. Phenomenal work, dude. For someone who has a very simple aspect to this film, he does a great job of giving you some variation, both with synthesizer as well as orchestral, and even some choir. Really finds a way to make each moment hit. Also, credit where credit is due. Francis Lawrence, the director of this film, he's definitely got a thing for making movies about kids getting killed, doing the Hunger Game movies. This movie is a lot more of a focused idea, and he excels in it. The only thing that I would maybe say that is a little bit lacking, but I don't know how else you could do it, the cinematography is kind of pretty moon certain points. Like, you can only show people walking so many ways, but there are some intense moments. There are ways to show this different dystopian America, whether it's from the pedestrians watching, from the architecture around them, to the somewhat rusting decay that is always present and still somehow supposed to be that this will get better if you finish the race. The biggest complaint I do have with this movie is the sound design. There are some times where I have absolutely no idea what anyone's saying. Like, there's one scene in particular that's a very, very emotional moment, and I went and saw this movie twice. I had no fucking clue what this person was saying, and I'm a little bit miffed because I still have no idea. I'll get the subtitles when I get the Blu-ray. Yeah, that's my biggest complaint about this movie, is the sound design is bad. Overall, though, this movie is a wonderful adaptation of this. It is such a great look into these characters who are going through such a moment, such a battle that seemingly is simple, but is a very long and hard and brutal decay on themselves. Not only their bodies, but their opinions of humanity, their camaraderie or respect with one another, or even their view of what humanity is. I love the ending too. Now, I know there are some differences between the film and the book. For instance, there's certain parts that hit a lot harder in the book, and there's some that hit a little less than they did in the film. But overall, I did like that this had a lot more of a focus into it, a lot more of a direction, so to say, rather than just the direction they have to walk. I think that it's a very loyal movie, and I like the ending because it both respects the ending as well as it updates itself. And again, it's even makes itself prevalent into this time and even to the time that it was talking about. Stephen King wrote this book to basically reflect on what he saw as the young men of America being drafted into the Vietnam War. The film takes that aspect, and as well as it takes in the idea of oppressive governments and people wondering whether it is their humanity that matters or loyalty that matters. I really like this movie. I think it's a phenomenal film. I am definitely having it in my top 5 for the year. I think it's great. Like I said, my biggest complaints about this movie is the sound design and some of the cinematography just being okay, but I didn't expect fucking Roger Deakins for this movie. Maybe a little bit biased here, but I'm going to give The Long Walk a 6 out of 7. It is in my top movies of the year. I really enjoyed this film. I would really highly recommend it, and then I would recommend reading the book because I'm rereading it right now because I just wanted to. It's such an interesting concept to me, and I understand that there are some people who don't like it. I gave this book out to so many people after I read it, and I had some people who said they loved it, and I had others who said they hated it. And I can maybe see the same thing for the film, maybe a little bit less of a divide, but really, give it a read. It's a good read. You'll finish it a lot quicker than you think you will. Anyways, that's all from me, guys. Hope you enjoyed this review. If you did, leave a like, and if you're interested in more, subscribe. And until then, see you guys next time.